Hello everyone, welcome back to the English class. Today we're going to talk about pronunciation of ed ending and speaking and writing. Do you remember the story that we had in the previous class? It was the visitor. Do you remember the most important information about it? You can see it again on the screen. And we're going to continue with the second part of the story. We're going to fill the gaps with the verbs in brackets. And the right form is adding ed to the verbs that we have in brackets. Let's start. When I arrived at Rock Point, the girl was there, but she was in trouble. I pulled her out of the water. We didn't talk on the way back. I carried her to the sand and she phoned her parents on my phone. You saved my life. She smiled. You didn't save your life. I answered, it was your brother. My brother? She cried. My brother Danny died at Rock Point when he was 10. This was his bracelet. I wear it to remember him. I looked at the bracelet on her wrist. It was a silver bracelet with a D on it. Now, can you match the two stories? The first one and the second? Let's continue with questions and answers about the text. We're going to make a question based on what we have on the screen and answers based on what we read. The first one. When did the story happen? It happened one evening last autumn. The second. Where did Kit stop on the beach? He stopped near a rock. The third one. Did the boy answer all Kit's questions? No, he didn't. The fourth one. Did Kit walk to Rock Point? No, he didn't. The fifth one. How did Kit save the girl? He pulled her out of the water. And the last one. What did Kit look at on Amy's wrist? He looked at her bracelet, so you do remember the letter D on her bracelet. Okay, we will continue with the pronunciation of AD at the regular verbs. Let's listen to the pronunciation first.
Arrived. Asked. Decided.
Okay, so we have the pronunciation D, ED, and T. So let's make a list of the verbs that end in ED and that they are pronounced D, the ED at the end, and the ones where we pronounce ED and T at the end of the verbs. So can you quick make a list of the verbs? Okay, we've got answered, appeared, arrived, asked, called, cried, died, happened, listened, loved, opened, phoned, played, pulled, remembered, returned, and saved. These are at the first line where we pronounce ed as d. Now, ed as ed, carried, decided, hated, hurried, replayed, visited, waited, wanted. And as t, dropped, finished, helped, loved, looked, pushed, talked, walked, watched, and worked. We're going to complete the dialogue using the correct form of the verbs from the box or short answers. The words are he love, ask, he study, he decide. We're going to use this twice. Appear, he return, and he live. Let's start. Your dad speaks great French. Did he study French at university? The answer should be positive from the sign that you can see in brackets. Yes, he did. After university, he lived in Paris for a few years. He loved it there. So why did he return to England? The headmistress of his old school, asked him to work there as a French teacher. He decided to try it. Then a pretty young English teacher appeared at school, and after that, he decided to stay there. She's my mom now, of course. How romantic. Let's continue with another exercise. We're going to make statements, questions, and answers in post simple. You've got the prompt in one side of the screen. The first one is already done, as you can see. I listened to the radio yesterday. The question, what? A program about sports. So it should be, I listened to the radio yesterday. What did you listen to? I listened to a program about sport. The second one, we then played tennis last week, and we're in the tennis club. So let's start with the statement first. We played tennis last week. The question, where did you play? The answer, we played at the tennis club. The third one, it's Joe walked 10 kilometers at the weekend. And where? And to Richmond. So Joe walked 10 kilometers at the weekend. Where did he walk? He walked to Richmond. Fourth one, I finished my project last night. And what time? At 11 p.m. I finished my project last night. What time did you finish? I finished at 11 p.m. And the last one, the fifth, I help my grandmother Saturday. How? And carry her shopping. I helped my grandmother on Saturday. How did you help her? I carried her shopping. So this is all about pronouncing ed and speaking and writing activities. As homework, you're going to work on your student's book, page 45, exercise 10. You're going to write a story using the prompts that you have and, of course, the picture. This is all for today. See you in the next class.